Christians are not under physical attack, but some of their rights are being violated. A complaint to the Navy, and suddenly Bibles are removed from military hotels. And then there's football. Football players told not to pray. And Reverend Michael Faulkner joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Greta.
Without any doubt, it's a lot better than it is in Nigeria and Sudan and in Syria and Iran. But
for the time being, because if we don't bring this into check, if we don't do exactly what the colonel and what the ambassador was saying, we are going to find this right on our doorstep. And the time to do something about it is right now. All
right. That's the imported terrorism from other places, but in terms of coming here in the United States. But we're also seeing instances where a lot of Christians are upset because, for instance, recently the Navy had Bible. They were told that they had Bibles in these military hotels, and all of a sudden they took them out. Now they're back in again, but that there's been a lot of sort of pressure domestically against Christians. A lot of them are very upset.
Right. Well, the thing is, Christians are easy targets. We're easy targets because as a religious group, I mean, you know, we understand that our belief system tells us that we will be persecuted. But at the same time, we have to understand that this whole era of political correctness has grown and expanded to the point where now it's okay to have religious freedom for any other religion other than Christianity. And we're seeing that right here in the United States.
You know, I think people forget the First Amendment includes freedom of religion, freedom to your thoughts, and I guess there are some people who probably think that when you talk about sort of some of the things that are happening to Christians here look rather tame compared to what's happening in these other countries. I mean, completely. I mean, we're not killing people because of their thoughts here, but nonetheless, it's stomping all over their rights when you do things like that.
Yeah, and you know, Greta, you know, going back to the Bible incident, you know, those people who had the Bibles removed from the naval dormitories and naval lodgings, they don't know that the first two Bibles published in the United States of America were published by the Congress of the United States.
Let me go to this topic about this school. Apparently, there's a humanist organization that wrote to a public school system because they were upset because the public school athletes were praying.
Well, listen, I was an athlete in high school and college, and I can tell you, you want your athletes praying. You want them praying because it creates a moral fiber, a basis upon which they can build and upon which these young men can grow and develop. And it's not forced. You see, that's the thing that people need to understand. This is not forced. This is a choice. And so these young people are being given a choice, an option about following a moral frame of reference.
And I guess if you tell them they can't do that, then you're forcing them not to, and you're stepping on their right, their constitutional right to do it.
Absolutely. Where do we get off with this? I don't understand where this came from, but I do know where it's going to go. I do know that if we do not bring this back into check, if we do not say, listen, Christianity or any other religion is okay to observe that in those areas as long as it's not forced and coerced.
Reverend, nice to see you, sir. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure, Greta. Thank you.
And an American pastor in prison in Iran. For one reason, he is a Christian, but it gets so much worse. Now there are ISIS prisoners in that same prison, and they want to kill him. Now his young children making a heart-wrenching plea for President Obama's help. That's next, as our On the Record special, Christians Under Attack, continues.